It feels so good to make a video again after, like, what, 10 weeks? I have missed making videos. So, for my audience who has been wondering where the hell I've been for the past 10 weeks, let me tell you a story. So you see, I lived in an apartment, and I was having plumbing issues. I couldn't flush my toilet, couldn't drain my sink, my dishwasher was flooded, plumbing wasn't working, so I contacted maintenance, and they never sent anybody out. Well, eventually, after a week of flushing and draining and Drano and trying to fix it myself, eventually the sewer just decided that it would rather live in my house than in the sewer, and my dishwasher, sink, and toilet fucking exploded, and I had sewer water all over my floor, my carpet. It was a disaster. It was disgusting, but I did my best to clean it up. I contacted maintenance, and like 6 weeks after I reported this issue, they finally sent someone out. Well, guess what? After 6 weeks of having sewer water in my carpet and in the corners and all these places that I didn't reach while trying to mop and steam clean, guess what? There was mold, and a lot of it, on account of all the human feces that were on my floor. And the mold problem was so bad, he declared that my apartment was unlivable, and he evicted me. Yeah, they kicked me out, and they blamed me for it too, which is hilarious because I let them know like a week before it exploded that I was having issues. But, you know, fuck me, I guess. So, because I was unexpectedly evicted out of nowhere for an issue that wasn't my fault, I had no address. And, oh boy, let me tell you, you really figure out who your friends are and aren't when you suddenly need to do some couch surfing for a bit. You know, a lot of people you thought were your best friends turn out to not be when you actually need a place to stay, you know what I mean? Luckily, I had a best friend come through for me in the nick of time, and he let me crash on his couch while I got back on my feet. Then I ran into a second problem, and this one was absolutely my fault. My credit score is terrible, so I had a hell of a time getting into a new apartment, because nobody wanted me. But eventually, I did manage to find a place that actually wanted to house me, and then I said I tried to sign a lease for the apartment, and they gave it to somebody else, because I didn't put it down a deposit on an apartment that I hadn't seen yet. So I couldn't get the apartment that I had just gotten a showing for the day before, so that was exciting. And so I put down a deposit on the place I currently live at before seeing it, so that I could go see it and make sure it wasn't a piece of shit. Thankfully, it wasn't. And then I signed a lease. And then they wouldn't let me move in for 2 weeks because the walls hadn't been painted or whatever. And honestly, y'all, I would have rather just move into an unpainted apartment rather than wait for 2 more weeks in my best friend's couch, taking up his entire living room as my own personal studio apartment. But then I get there, and despite the fact that I brought my own modem that I paid for, I tried to drop down the new modem and plug it into the outlet and run my internet and start making content and recording videos and watching YouTube and blah, blah, blah the same day. I couldn't. I tried to activate it online. It didn't work. They said they needed to do a manual installation. So I had to wait another week for them to send someone out to manually install the internet. And he comes in, and he sees my modem, and he sees the wall outlet, and he's like, well, you probably could have done a self-install. And I was like, yeah, no shit, you think? And he left, then he pushed a couple buttons on his fucking iPad, everything worked fine, and I was able to get internet. You know, so glad I had to have someone come out to my apartment to do something I could have done myself, but whatever. So finally, after all of this stress, I finally have a place to live. I finally have internet. So unless I get fired or evicted within the next 4 days, I plan on doing a live stream on New Year's Eve on Sunday. I haven't exactly figured out a time. Let's say tentatively around noon Central Time, Sunday, New Year's Eve. We'll do a big stream where we'll wrap up all the VTuber news that I've missed in the 10 weeks that I've been gone. Does that sound good for everybody? All right. So that is everything that has happened to me. It has been a disaster. I'm so glad it's over. And I can't wait to start putting out videos again. Bye, guys.